And good afternoon, everybody. I am in New Haven, Kentucky at the Kentucky Railway Museum. Unfortunately, it's not open today. We're going to go inside and take a look around and everything, but it's not open. So we're just going to kind of take a short little video, just kind of taking off the beaten path of where I'm headed home. And so we're just going to kind of take a look around and see a few trains and talk about what they all do and everything. So come along and join me. Now, I've never been to the Kentucky Railway Museum, so this is kind of the first time I made a pit stop here off of the main road. I was heading towards Elizabethtown, and I thought, oh, how far is the Railway Museum? Because I saw a sign when I was driving on the Bluegrass Parkway, and so I thought, Railway Museum, New Haven, Kentucky. I just saw the sign, and then I took it, and it's like, how far is it? And then I saw it was only 11 miles away, so I was like, well, why not? Should have taken it right here. Shoot. So, anyway, here's our first look at an engine. This is the old school engine. I don't know when it was built or anything, but this is where I am, Kentucky Railway Museum in New Haven. You can see kind of the front there, it's the number 1, and see kind of how you got the side rods, everything. This engine looks really old too. Looks like it was built back in maybe the 1800s. Of course, it's been remodeled and refurbished and everything, but a lot of history goes back. Of course, remember when I was talking about the flood wall down in Portsmouth, Ohio, and it talked about the Industrial Revolution and everything else, and trains were a big part of it. It was just everything ran by locomotive power at that time, and trains began to develop and began to really get into. So we're just gonna I'm just gonna take the sidewalk, be safe. I don't wanna be walking through their property on grass, but anyway, we're just gonna kind of mosey around and take a look at all the different locomotives and different trains and everything else. Now here is a locomotive wheel, as you can see, from the Illinois Central Railroad, the main line of Mid-America. I don't know if you can see that. I'll zoom in here and see the track line of the Mid-America and of the Midwest. And so that was the line back in the 1831 to 1951, and 1905 to 1980, this was the South Louisville Shops. It was a wheel for a steam locomotive. It's really hot. So I can walk around this. I'll walk right down this way. Perfect. Quiet. Oh, here we go. And this is the official state locomotive of Kentucky. Works of the NJ built this in 462 Light Pacific in October of 1905. It's donated to the Kentucky Railway Museum by the Louisville-Nashville Railroad in 1954. Was restored to put back in service in 1985. Engine reportedly pulled trains of Presidents Roosevelt, Hoover, and Truman, and prison train of gangster Al Capone. Over. So I guess the L&N steam engine 152. Where is steam engine 152? Let's find it. But here you can see this is the passenger train that runs for on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, this is the passenger train. You can see. I'm going to take a seat right here. Just kind of, this is where people wait for the train, and you can see all through here. It goes all the way down, and we'll catch up to the engine here in a second. So I really want to get a good shot of the engine. So this is there it is. That's the engine that takes the train, that takes the passengers on the excursion, and they have like different holiday themes throughout the year. They have a haunted train ride for Halloween. They have a Christmas train, of course, for the holidays. They have the Easter train robberies in like spring time, and mostly they just have a bunch of excursions that they do. And so it's you can see behind me there's the engine, and we'll go on the other side. There's a Santa Fe engine that's really bright colors of blue and yellow. Now, blue and yellow are not my favorite colors because of a team that I don't like, but that's beside the point. It's just really pretty. We'll go on that side here in a second. I first want to show you this caboose. I think this caboose was the one where it carried Roosevelt and Hoover. Ooh, this is good. This is shaded. Oh, thank goodness. Kind of stamps on it behind. This is the caboose that that they were talking about, engine 152, that carried Hoover, Roosevelt, and Al Capone back in the 1800s and 1900s. This caboose was the transporting prisoners, and part of the train that transported prisoners, and a couple of presidents of Hoover and Truman, and the famous prisoner of Al Capone. So, kind of interesting tactic there. We'll go down here and go back down towards the lot, and we'll see the other engine. There's not a lot to look at really today because the museum is closed. So we'll just kind of go by history signs and everything else. That's the other one. Yeah. Oh, hello. It says it's on the L&N Steam Engine 152 is on the National Register of Historical Places. Ran on the Louisville, including Lebanon branch through New Haven. Also ran between Mobile and New Orleans. Hauled coal through the 1920s. Coal boom in eastern Kentucky ran as one of the last surviving L&N steam engines in the world. That's interesting. So engine 152 is on the National Register of Historical Places. Wherever engine 152 is, I need to find out ASAP. I guess we can go this way. I don't know what that blue light is for up here, but we're gonna go up here and just kind of look around. Of course, the railroad crossing's not going off because trains are not running right now. So, but when they do run, the railroad crossing that was on the other side, it'll go off when the train starts moving. Right now, it's not moving, or not going off, and trains are not running at the moment. But here, I guess they use this. This is the platform. Right here is the platform, and on down is where you get on the train. Of course, you can see the big wheels down there, and do this. This is a real running locomotive. Not like the one at Casey Jones Village in Jackson. This one actually works. It actually runs. It's got the bells, the horn, and everything else. And it's, wow, it's amazing. So there we go, there. Now you can see behind me, this is a real running locomotive. I'm not on the tracks, but there we go. And so this train is a 2546 number, and of course you got the couplers in the front, the cow catcher in the front to push snow off the tracks. You've got, of course, we can't go inside the engine, but of course you got the normal throttle, handbrake, gauges, everything else. The fuel, basically diesel fuel, fill up kind of like for diesel trucks, semis. They take diesel fuel. This is what you would put in a train, in the engine to fuel up the tanks. And of course they have the air compressor tanks, the water tanks, and of course I can't go through there. Yeah. But, and like I said, this is a passenger train. There we go. This is a passenger train behind me that you can go through, and it just takes you on all kinds of adventures. I would like to do it one day, but it's about 5 hours. I'd say about 5 hours. Yeah, it's about 5 hours from me, and it's a little far. But maybe if I come visit, when I come visit my mom in Louisville, it's not that far from her. So maybe when I come and see her, she could take me one day. But anyway, thanks for joining me. I know it was really short. Like I said in the beginning, it was going to be a short video because there's nothing going on really here today because it's closed. And so, but I do appreciate you joining me. Remember to like and follow in the subscription, Squatch Vlogs 1. Type that into the search engine and look for my name come up. Tap the like button if you like this video. Leave comments for other places that you'd like me to visit. And like I said, I'm off the beaten path, so I'm kind of just doing this trip on my own. And look forward to seeing you in the next video, all about history of America. Until next time, soon.